Back in Las Vegas, Luis Ortiz is focused on making changes as he prepares for his rematch with Deontay Wilder. That includes adding a nutritionist and an extra coach.
Nunca había hecho esta dieta. Comer hierve, ya lo miro, está atravesado.
Ortiz takes preparation seriously, and to get ready for his first crack at Deontay Wilder, Ortiz first took on similar-sized Daniel MARTZ in 2017.
MARTZ is a big 6'7" heavyweight, a guy that's trying to break into the mainstream, to get into these conversations with guys like Ortiz and Wilder.
Who's MARTZ? The big West Virginian is 6'7", just like Wilder. And not only is this the perfect size opponent to prepare him, we have Deontay Wilder on commentary in Hialeah, Florida for this fight to add some extra pressure to Ortiz.
Deontay, in terms of physique-wise, how does Ortiz look to you?
You know, the Cubans, they have that style, they have that fundamental style, but although he's technical, but I don't think Ortiz has power.
You have Wilder ringside saying, oh, I don't know, it doesn't look like Ortiz has that much power.
So the fight starts and you want to see how long can MARTZ linger? What can Ortiz do here to prepare him for the big journey ahead?
And a shot that puts Daniel MARTZ on the canvas. And MARTZ hurting from the body attack of Luis Ortiz.
Mi entrenador me dijo, sal para ahí y trabájale este golpe con este, que eso se va a ir rápido, y eso fue lo que hicimos. Eso no había que gastar mucha energía.
Move on to the second round. More of that blistering combination.
On a big straight left. He's got Daniel MARTZ on the canvas. This could be it. And this one is over.
A devastating knockout. And before Daniel MARTZ can even hit the mat, Luis Ortiz's head is through the ropes, jawing at Deontay Wilder, who is sitting ringside.
You know, Ortiz is the big silent type. He's stone all the time, stoic. This was that rare time that he let a little bit of that personality out, let that trash talking go.
I want to fight you. I want to fight you.
This time he stuck his head between those ropes and called Deontay Wilder on.
Que ya era hora de que peleara con gente fuerte, con gente a su nivel.
Oh, did Wilder get in the ring? Ortiz was still letting his words go.
I want to fight you.
You want to fight me?
Yeah.
When you want to fight me?
When? Tomorrow.
When you ready? When are you ready?
No, I'm ready.
You ready?
I'm ready for you.
All right, stay by the phone, baby. Stay by the phone. I've been wanting to. You messed this opportunity up. I blessed you with the opportunity the first time.
Hey, you know that happened.
I blessed you with the opportunity the first time.
Hey.
In the ring for the first time, jawing at each other, you're yelling back and forth. It's getting chaotic in there, but one thing we know, it's setting itself up for a huge matchup.
I think you're one of the best, and I wanted to prove that I am the best. So for the best to prove that they are the best must fight each other. So I'm gonna bless you again with the second opportunity.
You saw Luis Ortiz come out of his shell. He knew the opportunity that could be ahead of him after losing the Wilder fight the first time around.
Make sure you train hard, because I'm coming to whoop your ass, I promise.
Suddenly King Kong was there. Suddenly you heard expletives, but he called Wilder on. He was ready to fight then and now.
Que me dijo que me iba a noquear, y dije que él estaba loco, solamente lo ofendí y le dije una mala palabra.
Deontay wanted to fight Luis because he knew how good he was, and Luis wanted to fight Deontay because he realized what Deontay represented. And so it was a moment that set a big fight up out of kind of what could have been nothing.
One thing we know is that the animosity is real between these two, and it's setting up for a huge matchup. March 3rd, 2018, Barclays Center. A matchup that was supposed to happen a few months earlier, but a failed drug test from Luis Ortiz delayed that.
Ortiz denied that he was cheating. He said he was taking it for medical reasons. It was something that was prescribed to him. And Deontay Wilder, rightly so, was very incensed. So he's going into the fight 6 months after he was supposed to fight him the previous time. And there was a little bit of hostile feeling just because he felt like Ortiz had let him down.
So once Ortiz went back and started testing clean, Deontay did something that he absolutely didn't have to do for the second time. He said, get him in the ring.
It's a really dangerous fight for Deontay Wilder. I think there's common agreement that Luis Ortiz is the hardest puncher he's ever faced in his career, and he's taking a big risk by taking this fight.
In the first round of the fight, what a lot of people thought might happen started to show up. Luis Ortiz is a southpaw. Southpaws are difficult for conventional fighters to fight. Ortiz can box. People were so focused on his punching power that they ignored the fact that he came out of that Cuban boxing factory and he had those skills honed into him for years.
Through the first 3 or 4 rounds, Ortiz is showing better movement than we had realized he would show. I mean, something you can often do against Wilder, especially early in the fight, is you can kind of frustrate him. And so Wilder looks a little confused in some of these early rounds.
Ortiz looking to cut off the ring. Wilder going backwards.
Those first 4 rounds, you see Ortiz winning that chest battle, getting out ahead with his jab, really winning the X's and O's.
Deontay's fought southpaws before. That being said, Ortiz is a special southpaw. He's very, very good at what he does. Both of them are trying to fight for position. It's all about trying to get yourself in a position to do things positively.
Another big straight left hand by Ortiz. That's the end of the 4th round. A left hook by Wilder to end the 4th round.
Yo recuerdo varias cosas, lo más recuerdo de mi entrenador echándome, diciéndome cosas, que esa era la oportunidad mía y nada, salíamos para allá a hacer nuestro trabajo.
I thought we were doing a great job. I thought we were winning the fight. Lewis was going at him, and he was winning clearly the first 4 rounds.
The first couple rounds in this fight, a lot of feeling out, a lot of jabs, and a lot of movement. But the fans at the Barclays Center and the fans at home knew that those fireworks were bound to happen, and they came in that 5th round.
In round 5, I started to come on to Ortiz. I started to understand how he was moving. We were starting to fill each other out. I ended up hitting him with a right hand. He felt it. I came in and hit him again. I knew that it was a game changer. From that point on, I think Ortiz knew that he was in for a real fight that night.
There was no doubt that the right hand had Ortiz wobbled and he went down hard. I think had the round not ended shortly thereafter, that could have been the end of the fight because I think he was hurt.
And that's the end of the 5th. And Wilder says, I got him. And Ortiz is in a world of trouble.
As with any big-time heavyweight title fight, you want to see what happens the first time somebody lands a legit punch. Round 5 was that first blood, and it was Deontay Wilder who landed a perfect counter right to floor Luis Ortiz. But to Ortiz's credit, he ate the punch, the damage, and he got back up. And now we were going to see whether this chess match was going to turn into a fight.
Ya, un descuido, un mal paso. El boxeo hay que pensar en fracciones de segundo. Eso sucedió.
Ortiz came to win that fight. He wanted to win the championship. This was something bigger than himself that he was fighting for. And in that moment, he knew, I have a chance to win this fight. Get your butt up off the ground and continue to fight. And he did, and that's what made it a compelling fight.
Deontay Wilder is going to go as he always tries to do, and that is finish him off. But Luis Ortiz is extremely calculated and is still powerful. Big right hand, it wobbled Ortiz, and Ortiz now is just fighting up pure guts, but now he's trying to throw a straight left.
We wanted to see what would happen if Luis Ortiz could start putting his punches together. The thing about boxing, just like life, you don't really know how tough you are until you need to be, until you have to be. You know that old saying, you don't know if you can swim until you're pushed in the deep end of the pool.
A left hook there, and another left hook by Wilder, followed by a right hand. Straight left that was blocked by Wilder. And they both are swinging for the fences to end the 6th. High-level drama in New York City. Round 7, entering the second half of the fight.
Wilder, one of his weaknesses, he tends to throw wide punches. He's trying to knock you out, so he'll throw haymakers from all over the place. And Luis Ortiz was able to throw punches down the middle, short punches, and he was able to hit Wilder consistently.
Ortiz keeps punching, and he finds ways to touch Deontay Wilder.
Wilder had his own personal hell in round 7, and it began late in that round when Luis Ortiz backed him up.
Luis Ortiz was pummeling Deontay Wilder in that round, landed 27 power shots, and Wilder had no answer.
Wilder looks hurt. His eyes are wide open right now by Ortiz. Ortiz trying to finish him. Deontay Wilder.
Maybe the most hurt we've ever seen Deontay Wilder in his career. Ortiz is throwing combinations. Wilder can barely hold on, let alone punch back. He looks like he's just frantic and desperate and badly hurt.
Wilder is hurt. He's trying to hold on. Can he do so for 15 seconds?
You're almost counting down those final seconds of round 7. Can Ortiz do this? Can he become the heavyweight champion of the world?
Ortiz has Wilder hurt, and Wilder's still upright. Ortiz trying to do everything to bring an end to the night to Wilder. A mixed right left. Dave feels down. Final moments. That's the end of the 7th. And Wilder is visibly shaken.
Deontay definitely got hit with a great shot, and he was in what I call a tornado. And a tornado is when things are going very, very fast, and you're having to deal with that.
I was buzzed, severely buzzed when he hit me, but I was far from hurt. You know, looking at that round, even on TV, it was like, oh my God, the ref is about to stop this fight. It was so intense. You know, it was electrifying. It had you on the edge of your seats. You couldn't even sit down, some people. I go back and look at that fight. They couldn't sit down.
Estimado, salí a trabajar, a hacer lo que mejor que sé hacer, que es tirar piñazo y tirar piñazo y tirar piñazo.
And I told him in the corner between rounds, Ortiz gave everything he has. He's exhausted right now. He has taken his shot, and he did not get what he wanted. Now it's our time.
He threw everything in the kitchen sink, and he could not get me out of there. And I think that messed with his head mentally.
Wilder absolutely showed his mettle 100%. I think he had such great determination in the fight that he decided, I am not going to lose my title this way. I'm not giving up this way. And he managed to regather his composure and understand what he needed to do again.
Ortiz is trying to make history and become the first Cuban to win the heavyweight championship of the world. But back comes Wilder. Wilder throwing as well.
After that 7th round, I gained the momentum in the 8th round. The 9th round, I gained even more momentum. I started to come back. My punches started to land.
A big right hand, and it hurt Ortiz. And now Wilder is going on the attack again.
My IQ was so high in there, I knew exactly what I was doing.
That's one punch, and stains things completely. He's hurt. He's hurt. He's hurt. Don't go out.
Stay away from the rope. As long as we on the rope, that's when he just starts swinging. Stay away from the rope. Keep that jab in his face.
We saw Ortiz go down. We saw Wilder knocked around the ring. Coming into those championship rounds, you really knew whoever was going to be able to put their punches together first and really land the kind of combination that can hurt the other may have a chance of winning this fight.
In that 10th round, I started seeing openings because he started to get tired. He started to get fatigued because his momentum dropped.
And now Ortiz is hurt. Ortiz seems hurt. He's holding on, and they go down to the canvas, and no, that is a slip. But Ortiz looked over at his corner, and he knows he's hurt.
Deontay just kind of let it be known, you know what, like whatever it takes, I'm winning this fight. There's no depth I'm not willing to go to win this fight.
Wilder looking to close out Luis Ortiz.
Wilder sees the blood in the water. He knows that he can get this guy out right then and there, and he doesn't mess around.
Wilder has Ortiz hurt. Midway through the 10th round, a big shot. Down goes Ortiz for the 2nd time in the fight.
Sometimes in boxing, you see when a guy knocks the other guy down and knows he has him hurt, he can't wait to jump on him. This was like one step beyond that. Like Wilder was so sure that Ortiz was hurt that when he got back up after that knockdown, he walked over to him calmly, he starts hitting him.
A big right hand, shakes Ortiz, down he goes, looks, Dave Fields, there, uppercut, this one is over. He is Deontay Wilder. He is still the WBC heavyweight champion of the world.
After Ortiz went down and he was in a lot of trouble, and Deontay Wilder is one of the best finishers in the history of the heavyweight division. He hurts you, he generally gets you out of there. Ortiz got up and Deontay Wilder showed his arsenal, because his big thing a lot of times is that over the top right hand that he throws, and he came down the middle with an uppercut and he just snapped Ortiz's head back, and that punch was enough for the referee to say, you've had enough for the night, and he called it off.
Wilder skates through the toughest fight of his career, and he does so in powerful fashion, knocking out Luis Ortiz, and in the process breaks a little bit of history here. It's the 39th knockout for him in his 40th fight. No other heavyweight has done that.
He went in there against a proven boxer puncher in Luis Ortiz, the one man in the division nobody seemed to want to face. He took Ortiz's best shot, he countered, and he knocked him out. This was an announcement to anybody who was still left doubting Deontay Wilder.
I don't think there's any question that knocking out Luis Ortiz, when you've been in trouble and you've been outboxed, is the signature win of Deontay Wilder's career. There's no question about that.
I felt like, man, to come out of the situation in the 7th round, and then at the end of this story, to knock him out, the boogeyman of the division, it was amazing for me.
Solamente digo que ese era su día. Ese era su día.
In the lead up to this rematch with Luis Ortiz, Wilder has been on record saying that there was some unfinished business, there were some controversial moments. He's talking about that 7th round with Luis Ortiz, and you know in the back of his mind he's thinking about that.
It's very few times in life that you get a second chance to fix a mistake, a second chance to right a wrong. For Luis Ortiz, there must have been some dark nights there wondering, could I have been the first one to put that L on Deontay Wilder's record? Should I be the one wearing that green heavyweight championship belt?
If Luis Ortiz can bottle that and bring that into the rematch, I think fans will be in store for another blockbuster fight in the heavyweight division.
Thank you for watching. Well, if you enjoyed that clip, make sure you click somewhere around here and subscribe. From fight highlights to exclusive interviews, we have got everything you need as a boxing fan right here on PBC on Fox.